Ooh, ooh, ooh. Things are interesting. And you know what? I'm tired of pretending they're not.
And we can see it actually as we watch the breakdown of our social narrative. All of a sudden, even the most materialist person has to pay attention to story.
When you read the plague narratives, like again an ancient Israelite would have, you're going to see very plainly that this is Yahweh against the gods.
What God did for Jesus at Easter is what he will do for all his creation in the end.
People hold me back. People tell me what I shouldn't think is interesting. You shouldn't think that's interesting. The opposite. Someone might get divided and then the church won't be unified. But I think things are interesting. And I'm tired of pretending that they're not. What sorts of things could I possibly find interesting? Well, what could we possibly find interesting? Not just a matter of what I think. What do you think? What do we think? You know, leadership. What does it mean to be a good leader? That's interesting. Yeah, really interesting. Like chanting and being happy, and how the power of mantra meditation is pagan. What else could we possibly find interesting? I suppose the journey of modern careful examination of Hodge's method of doing theology and defending Christianity reveals the influence of Scottish realism, which Hodge would probably not deny, in spite of his apparent lack of interest in philosophical matters. Wow, that was interesting. I mean, I guess we could... Creation! What about the 6 days, and what could that possibly mean? And maybe there's this wacky idea that if you look at the Hebrew and then in Genesis, and then there's this stuff going on about like freaking pagan gods and Hebrew words going on about a Babylonian creation myth being like, you suck so hard, and Hebrew creation myths are like, yeah, we're so much better than you. Whoa, guys, are you really telling me that the plagues in Exodus are also a polemical attack of like Yahweh versus the Egyptian gods? Battle of gods. Boom, boom, boom. And when Jesus, calms the storms and calms the chaos, actually shows that God has power over chaos, which ancient gods had to slay and slaughter to conquer. But Jesus walks on it and just tells it, you need to chill out, my dude. Things are interesting. And I'm tired of pretending that they're not. The thing is, there's a lot of theology out there that's just kind of a little wacky. And that's okay. And it's because all these scriptures came out of a context that, comparative to ours, is pretty wacky.
It's a cognitive environment that Israel shared with the people who lived around them. Assyrians, Babylonians, Egyptians, Canaanites, Hittites, they're all different peoples, but they shared some common denominators. And those are the things we want to look at, because those are things that the Israelites also shared. An Israelite thought more like a Babylonian than they think like us.
What if the way of Jesus simply provides the narrative framework and the empowering spirit for the ethical ideals of a culture to aim towards, while still allowing for unique expression of those values? What if we stop seeing it as a singular culture, like Christianity, that making disciples of Jesus would bring everybody into this similar monochromatic culture where we're all going to sing the same way in worship, we're going to have the same music, we're going to have the same food taste, we're going to dress the same, we're going to have the same language, we're going to have the same values when it comes to what we do with our time and energy and attention. What if we lost that vision of what the kingdom of God is supposed to look like, and instead we embrace this idea that the way of Jesus provides a narrative structure and the empowering spirit to aim cultures in the right ethical direction, and allows for them to have unique expression of those cultural values, where some unique cultures are going to be perhaps much more in tune with expressing beauty in a particular way than other cultures. They contribute something to the whole. Because to me, this really seems to be the essential.